The three biggest myths, like I said, of cold email. Number one, nobody reads my cold emails. Number two, they all go to spam. Why would I even try this? It's a waste of time. And number three, it's pretty impossible to get a list of my dream clients because I just don't know where to get the emails. But I want to break these limiting beliefs down for you guys one by one. So what we're going to cover today, number one, how to write scroll stopping emails that get, open and responded to so you actually get meaningful lead flow from cold email. Number two, how to keep your emails out of the spam folder. The biggest mistake that people make is. Number three, how to build a list of your dream 100 clients. How do you actually get the email leads to reach out to? And number four, how to implement cold email into your business. The biggest benefit of cold email is, first of all, it takes very little investment upfront compared to paid media, Facebook ads, Google ads, wherever you're running paid traffic. Cold email is the perfect mix of cheap and predictable. So obviously referrals are free, but you can't wake up every day and rely on a customer to refer you new business, where once you have a good strategy in place, you can kind of rely on, 5 new leads coming in today based on how many emails I'm sending. But you're not breaking the bank spending several thousands of dollars on paid media. You can also reach out to decision makers directly. I remember we were running a campaign for a client that sold loyalty software to gas stations, and the CEO and founder of Buc-ee's, which is probably the coolest gas station ever, responded and set up a meeting with them in person in Austin. So it's pretty cool. You can cut out the middlemen and the gatekeepers and get right to a CEO's inbox. What's really stopping you from running cold emails? It's not skill, because anybody can do it once you have the baseline knowledge and you know how to write good sales messaging. And it's not money, because if you're an established business owner that invests money into marketing, it's one of the cheapest channels in the game to run. Yes. So my name is Christian. Yeah, I'm a co-founder at listkit. We sell B2B email leads. And the way that we sell these leads is with basically done for you cold emails. So I've written cold emails for the better part of 5 years at this point, which is a pretty, specific skill set to be have a profession in, if you will. So I've written cold emails for agencies, IT companies, coaching, SaaS, physical products, real estate, funding, the whole 9 yards. I've probably written a cold email sequence for that service, if you can think of one. But basically, I want to kind of run you guys through a presentation. Real quick before I dive in, if you guys could just drop a comment or let me know what your service is, that'd be awesome. Just a quick rundown of what you sell, so I can kind of tailor this to you guys, because it's a pretty small group. I see the chat. Brent and Chase are in the chat. Okay, cool, guys. Yeah, so digital marketing, this will be super relevant for you because a lot of our clients sell some sort of marketing service. But the theme of today's presentation, training, whatever you want to call it, is how to steal customers from your competitors and dominate your market with mass personalized cold email. This is a smaller group, so I want to make this super interactive. So I'll skip a couple of the storytelling slides, if you will. But basically, who am I? My name is Christian. I'm from upstate New York. Saratoga is my favorite place in the summer for the horses. Great place to be and lose all your money on the ponies. But I am a cold email copywriter by trade. Like I said, I've written 2,000 plus email sequences for myself, my clients, my customers, people on the internet that I've interacted with my content. I coined the one sentence cold email and the loom video pitch, and I'm a co-founder at listkit. But basically, 2021, I was almost an accountant, was still in school. I'm 25. I'm 5 years out of college, or 4 years out of college, but I was in school, not sure what I wanted to do with my career, and I was just lost. And then I stumbled right before I was about to accept an internship at a Big Four accounting firm and live the dream at my desk 80 hours a week doing taxes. I stumbled on this course called Cold Email Mastery, who my business partner, Daniel, he was at the time my, mentor, if you will. I was learning from him, learned everything about cold email, signed my first couple clients, went on, we had an agency that lasted 2 years, worked with 300 plus clients, turned that into a coaching business that is still running today, that has more than 500 students that has gone through it. And now listkit, which is our data platform, we've worked with several thousand customers on their cold email outbound. And basically, I took a cold email course, partnered with the creator of that course. We're business partners to this day, and I created the Cold Email Mastery 2.0 version. So cold email has basically been my entire career since I graduated college. If you never ran cold email before, the biggest benefit of cold email is, first of all, it takes very little investment upfront compared to paid media, Facebook ads, Google ads, wherever you're running paid traffic. Cold email is the perfect mix of cheap and predictable. So obviously referrals are free, but you can't wake up every day and rely on a customer to refer you new business. On the other hand, paid ads are very predictable, but they're very expensive. Cold email kind of exists in the middle, where once you have a good strategy in place, you can kind of rely on, 5 new leads coming in today based on how many emails I'm sending. But you're not breaking the bank spending several thousands of dollars on paid media. You can also reach out to decision makers directly. I remember we were running a campaign for a client that sold loyalty software to gas stations, and the CEO and founder of Buc-ee's, which is probably the coolest gas station ever, responded and set up a meeting with them in person in Austin. So it's pretty cool. You can cut out the middlemen and the gatekeepers and get right to a CEO's inbox. And you're not at the mercy of these big tech companies with paid ads, because they can shut down your ad account for no reason overnight. And if that's the case, you're shit out of luck and you have no lead flow, right? So cold email is advantageous for a number of reasons, and it was the catalyst behind our first agency. Myself, my partner Andre, my partner Dan here, went from 0 to 100K a month as a cold email agency. We signed clients through cold email, and we got results for them with cold email, right? Never needed a job out of college. Moved to Tampa from New York after I graduated school. Built myself as an authority in the space with cold email, and it gave me the confidence to get on the phone and present like this in front of people on the topic of cold email. So we basically catapulted from an agency into a software company, which exists today, and it's what I'm presenting to you guys about. And we were able to hit $1 million in ARR with our organic audience and a cold email campaign that was reaching out to 100,000 people a month. We had a pretty big operation, on the cold email side to get us off the ground. And we got to 1,200 paying customers. Some of the biggest data companies in the space started running ads against our search term on Google, which means that we're doing something right, because they are trying to steal our traffic. And it was me, my partner, and our inbox manager that managed the entire campaign to get us to $1 million run rate. So with all that being said, what's really stopping you from running cold emails? It's not skill, because anybody can do it once you have the baseline knowledge and you know how to write good sales messaging. And it's not money, because if you're an established business owner that invests money into marketing, it's one of the cheapest channels in the game to run. It's either a lack of know-how, right? You have no clue what you're doing, which is completely understandable. Setting up domains and inboxes and writing copy is not something you can just pick up on right away. It could be, probably for the most of you, a lack of time. You don't have 10 hours to go learn this and set it up and get good at it when you have a business to run. And it could be a lack of belief. Oh, cold email doesn't work. I got burned in the past, this and that. All understandable. But I want to break these limiting beliefs down for you guys one by one. So what we're going to cover today, number one, how to write scroll stopping emails that get, open and responded to, so you actually get meaningful lead flow from cold email. Number two, how to keep your emails out of the spam folder. The biggest mistake that people make is they don't configure their inboxes properly. They send too many emails. They go to spam. They're discouraged. Nobody's answering. I'm not even hearing a no or a no thanks. It's just crickets, which is discouraging. I'm going to teach you guys how to avoid that situation. Number three, how to build a list of your dream 100 clients. How do you actually get the email leads to reach out to? And number four, how to implement cold email into your business, even if you don't have the time to do it on your own, because I'm going to give you guys some info on how you can personally work with us to set up, write, and launch your very own cold email campaigns. So to dive in here, the 3 biggest myths, like I said, of cold email. Number one, nobody reads my cold emails. Number two, they all go to spam. Why would I even try this? It's a waste of time. And number three, it's pretty impossible to get a list of my dream clients because I just don't know where to get the emails. So we're going to dive in. Quick pulse check. I want to get a scale, because a lot of you have your cameras off. I want to make sure you're paying attention. From 1 to 5, how much experience do you have with cold email? A 1 being no experience, never done it. 5, I've done cold email, signed clients in the past, used it as an acquisition channel. Would love to hear where you guys are at. 2 to 3, 2, 3, Okay, so it sounds like a lot of you guys have dabbled in it, which is great because you have some background on it, but you need, there's room to improve, which is good, which is what I want to hear. So lesson number one, right? The most important and my personal favorite, because I do the copywriting. So this is where I geek out, right? How do you actually write a good cold email that gets opened and responded to, so you actually drive leads for your business, right? To kick this off, I like to start out with this little exercise called the 3 offer levels, right? Which offer level does your service fall into? A level 3 offer, something like web design, Facebook ads, SEO. Prospects actively think that they don't need what you're selling, right? They're like, oh, I don't need a new website. I got that done a year ago. I don't need SEO. They actively don't think that they need what you're selling, in which case you need to prove to them why they need what you're selling with a free lead magnet, a free resource, a free homepage build out, something valuable that you can give away to make them interested in what you sell, right? If you have a level 3 offer, there's nothing wrong with it, right? It's just you're going to have to put in some extra legwork to get results. A level 2 offer, ad creatives, email marketing, CRO, social media management. This is, kind of the middle ground where prospects know that they need what you're selling, but they don't know why they need yours. They're shopping around, they're talking to somebody else, they're contracting with a different agency. This is where guarantees, video pitches, risk reversals come in handy to get people over the hump of, okay, this guy, you know what, I should actually migrate over to what they're doing because they can outperform my current service provider. Or I'm going to sign with them over 2 other people that I've had a sales call with, right? And then level 1, if you're in the level 1 service offering, you're in luck because prospects know that they need what you're selling and it's a blue ocean. There's not many competitors. YouTube editing, AI is a big one right now, podcast placement, speaking engagements. You can just pitch a call straight away and you will probably get good results, right? So I would love to hear which offer level you guys fall into based on what I just outlined. Drop it in the chat, 1, 2, or 3, because this will kind of shape the rest of the copywriting section based on what you need to be pitching at the end of your email. 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay. 1 and 2. Great. Cool. So keep it like the only reason I'm having you go through the offer levels is so you are aware of what you're going to have to pitch in your emails to get responses. Do you have to pitch a free resource? Can you pitch a video and a guarantee? Can you pitch a call straight away? And it sounds like a lot of you fall into the 2 and 3 area, which is good because I want to show you a strategy that gets extremely good response rates for, even competitive services, right? So the process of any cold email campaign is offer creation, right? You guys just kind of outlined what you're selling, which is good. You write the scripts, you get the domain set up, you identify your ideal client profile, and then you get a list of leads. And we're going to cover all this right now. So the very first step is crafting a no-brainer offer that you can sell over email, because a lot of people will come to me, oh, I sell email marketing, I sell web design. It's like, that's not an offer. You're not telling people why they should listen to you and how you can benefit their business. You're just telling me what you sell. Like, I sell cold email. Okay, great. What are the benefits of cold email? What are the outcomes of cold email, right? 10 sales calls a month, 2 deals a month, right? 25 new leads in your CRM, stuff like that, right? So I want you guys to take every benefit associated with your business and write it on paper. Like email marketing is a good example. You can, improve sales, improve open rate, improve link clicks, right? All these different metrics that can be improved with your service. I want you guys to just flesh out 1 or 2 different, offers that you can pitch to somebody that pitches a benefit, right? Generate 50K in email sales, fully guaranteed, right? A 3-step email sequence for your newsletter that'll book you 5 sales calls a week, right? A video going over a few things with your email flow that are likely hurting your conversions. These are all different forms of offers, right? Direct pitch, lead magnet, video, all, pitching a benefit. So if you guys want to drop in the chat real quick what your offer is, and don't say I do email marketing, tell me I can help you generate 50K in sales from your email list, right? Nice. Good stuff. Okay, you guys get it. So with the offer in mind, we're going to get into the copywriting section. I like to start this out with a story. 4 years ago, when I was just starting cold email, there was very little education on the market. No one really had any resources on how to write good cold emails. So I was kind of left on my own to trial and error and experiment. And I came across this blog of this yacht broker who sold 7-figure yachts to rich people. And his entire email was, "Are you looking to buy a yacht?" A 7-word email, no context, no AIDA formula, whatever that stuff is. He just had a 7-word email, and that was his entire strategy. And he was selling deals left and right. And I was like, wait a second. I don't need to be saying all these, I don't have to be doing 4 or 5 paragraph emails. I can just use a sentence as a question and send it over. And that strategy has evolved over the past couple of years, from, are you looking to sign more clients, to, hey, are you looking to sign more clients? We can set you up with a cold email campaign that books you 10 calls a month. Let me know if you want more info, right? That brief of an email is what's going to work best. And it took me this blog to realize that the best emails are the shortest emails, right? Anything less than 30 words is going to do pretty well. The longer you get, the less chance you're going to have of getting a response, because people just don't have the attention span. They don't want to read your emails and sit in the inbox all day, figuring out what you're trying to sell them, right? So with this context in mind and with your offer in mind, I have a question real quick. Sean, what's the successful offer for level 1? Depends on what you're selling, Sean. The important thing is, like, your offer is consistent. The thing that switches up is what you're pitching in the email. Is it a call right away? Is it a video? Is it a free resource? What are you actually pitching to the prospect to get them to say yes, right? And I'll go into that here in a second. So the cold email strategies that I use with all my clients, our own campaigns, everyone I work with, are one of these three. They're either a Trojan Horse loom video pitch. I'll explain what that means in a minute. A standard video pitch, or a lead magnet, right? I almost never go right for a call, unless, of course, I have a level 1 offer like Sean, in which case I might. But for the most part, I like to provide upfront value and give, free value away to the prospect before I ever ask for a meeting, right? So first of all, the Trojan Horse loom video pitch. Why do I call it the Trojan Horse? Because you're kind of, the Trojan Horse story where these guys went in a horse and got behind enemy lines. You're kind of using an opener that brings people's guard down, and they'll read your email and not be like, this guy's pitching me, get out of here. Like, they'll actually read your email and be genuinely curious what you have to say. What do I mean by that? Something like this: I was checking out your website and I noticed a few things that are hurting your conversions. Robbie, this is relevant for you. I saw you have a conversion rate optimization offer. Anybody that reads this right away is going to be like, what's wrong on my website? The curiosity factor kicks in, and they want to know what's hurting their conversions so badly that somebody's reaching out to them, right? I opted into your email list and I noticed a few things that are costing you sales. Once again, what in the world is wrong with my email list and I'm losing sales? Or got hit with one of your ads and I noticed a few things that are hurting your click-through rate. Like, okay, what's wrong with my ads, right? And then all you do is call to action a video. I recorded a video explaining further. Mind if I send it over? Interested in checking out a video? Like, no pitch. I'm just saying, hey, there's something that's probably wrong with your website right now. Do you want to check out a video explaining what's wrong, right? Here's what it looks like on paper, fully fleshed out. It's literally a 2-sentence email. I was checking out your website and noticed a few things that are hurting your conversions. I recorded a quick video breaking down the causes and how to fix them. Mind if I send the video here? That's the entire email. And like I said, I'm not even really making an offer. I'm just giving away a free video to get people interested. And then on the video, I'll be like, hey, here's 1, 2, and 3 that you can improve with your website. If any of this was valuable, I can guarantee you $20K in extra sales this month with a new website design. Do you want to hop on a call, right? So you're basically placing the video in front of actually pitching 20K in sales, 10 extra clients, 20 extra opt-ins, right? So this strategy works extremely well because it's the curiosity factor. You're not really selling anything. And then it gives you 3 to 5 minutes on a Loom video to pitch people and show them what's wrong with their website and offer a call to improve it, right? Now, let's say you can't pitch a Trojan Horse, like you can't observe something about their business because you sell, I don't know, CRM integrations or something on the back end, because you can't come out and say, hey, I noticed your CRM is messed up. CRMs are not a public facing thing, right? So if that's the case, standard video pitches work extremely well too. We can book you 20 sales calls per month from an organic YouTube strategy, fully guaranteed, or you don't pay. Mind if I send over a quick video going over a YouTube idea that I had in mind for you? Oh yeah, I'll take a YouTube video that can help me book 20 calls from YouTube. Why not, right? Same thing with a lead magnet. Same hook, We can help you book 20 calls a month with an organic YouTube strategy, fully guaranteed or you don't pay. I put together a sample YouTube script for you to take a look at. Do you mind if I send it over? Once again, oh yeah, this guy's offering me a free YouTube script. I'll take it. Why not? And then you blow them away with the video, with the YouTube script, with the free resource that you give them, to the point where they're like, this person's an expert. They know what they're doing. Let's hop on the phone. That sales call is going to be way more high intent because they've seen your face. They know what you can do. They trust you already. And it's an easier close on the back end, right? Basically, cold email is a puzzle. You just have to move the pieces around. Like if you look here, the lead magnet pitch, the hook is the same. The CTA is different. The video pitch, the hook is the same. The CTA is different. The Trojan Horse pitch, the CTA is the same, the hook is different. So once you have a couple different, a hook with an offer and a CTA, you can just mix and match these things until you find a winning piece of copy that's getting consistent leads, right? So I want to stop here because I know I'm, going pretty fast and this is a new concept for some of you. So I want to basically take the time to give you guys a minute or two, come up with a cold email script, drop it in the chat so I can review it. And then we'll take it to the next phase of cold email. So take a minute, write out a 2-sentence email with an offer and a hook, or an offer and a CTA, right? And just drop it in the chat. Love to see what you guys got. Oh, there we go. Brent, that was so quick, I didn't even see it. I noticed some issues that could be improved with your local SEO results in Google. Mind if I send a video explaining how to fix it? Great. Yeah. And Brent, if you're reaching out to local businesses, I would even say, hey, I was searching for roofers on Google, and your website was not the first one on the search result. Mind if I share a video explaining how to fix that? Right? Because blue collar workers, you probably want to meet them where they're at with, probably don't even know what SEO is. Maybe they do, but just being very, basic verbiage there. Hey, notice your ads could crush it even more with some tricks we've got. Okay, Sean, I would use the Trojan Horse approach there. Hey, Christian, I got hit with one of your ads the other day scrolling on Facebook. I noticed a few things you could do to crush it even more with your ads, right? I recorded a video explaining the improvements you can make. It'll probably help you sign 15 extra clients. Do you want to see the video, right? Cool. Okay, good. So here's some of the responses that I pulled when I made this deck from one of my clients. Interested, would love to learn more. Well, I'd love to see a loom video. Sure, send the loom. Sure, sounds interesting. I'm interested. I'm listening. Happy to chat. Feel free to book a time with me, right? Cold emails don't work is a huge myth. They work extremely well with the right strategy behind them, like we just went over, right? So keep that in mind. Keep that copy handy. I'm going to dive into some technical stuff that's super boring. Keeping your cold emails out of the spam folder, right? If you ever check your spam folder, it's a wasteland. The people that are sending these emails think that they're, going to get results, and sadly they're not, because they're in the spam folder. And they're all ending in spam for the same couple of reasons. Like Ashley, Roy, Junior, Scott, these guys are all in spam because, number one, they're probably sending too much volume from a single domain. So when you do cold email, you want to set up 15, 30, 45, even 60 domains that are subdomains of your main website, so that you're not, putting your main business domain at risk in this cold email process. So for us, we have use listkit, try listkit, go listkit, get listkit, like all these different variants of our main business domain, sending emails on our behalf on a low volume, right? We're not sending a million emails from one domain. We're sending 10 emails per domain, and we're scaling by setting up new domains and new inboxes, right? That is a process of scaling a cold email campaign, is by adding more manpower as opposed to just firing off more shots from the single gun, right? Using links, images, HTML, and spam words are going to put you in spam immediately. Like if you have a link to a video or a website, you have an image in there, no good. You want to have plain text on a white background. That's it. Some people have the domains, they're just not setting them up properly. They're not warming up the inboxes. They're not configuring DKIM, DMARC, DNS, all the boring stuff that I don't want to do, that you don't want to do, but it's necessary to do cold email. I'll give you guys more info later on how we can handle that process on our side, so you can sit back and relax and let us build it for you. And then most importantly, a lot of people just aren't warming up their domains to mimic human behavior, right? Like if you look at this email here, the copy makes no sense. Like if you read this, it makes absolutely no sense. But these are what warm-up emails look like, and they're sent out every single day for 2 weeks to get your domains and your inboxes up to speed, so that when it's time to hit go on your campaigns, you're not going to spam, because Google and Outlook have seen these emails coming from this domain for a couple of weeks, right? So these type of emails are what get you to, a point where you can run cold email and not go to spam with your fresh domains, right? And more importantly, people are just spamming with horrible messaging and they're getting marked as spam. And even if you have all these fundamentals nailed down, if you're spamming people with horrible copy, you're still going to go to spam because of all the complaints you're going to get. So what you should do, and then we'll move on because this is the boring technical stuff that I don't like. You don't probably like either. You want to limit your campaigns to 20 emails per day per inbox. We've actually toned this down to 11 per day per inbox because we're just playing it really safe. Oh, Christian, what if I want to send 30 per inbox? What if I want to send 40 per inbox? You can, but there's a chance that you're going to go to spam. You can go on the highway and speed. There's a chance that you're going to get pulled over. Do you want to take that risk? That's up to you. We never do it because we have hundreds of clients that we're managing. And if all of them have inboxes burn out, it's going to be a huge issue for us. So like I said, you want to scale your campaigns by purchasing more domains, setting up more inboxes, and scaling the volume horizontally with more sending accounts rather than vertically from a single account, right? Always use plain text, and then above all, write cold emails that people don't want to mark as spam. So that is a deliverability checklist. So your calendar looks like this, and you have, calls lined up every single day. I have to update this screenshot badly. I made this deck a while ago. But right, myth number 2, cold emails go to spam. That is false. You'll land in the main inbox if your campaigns are set up properly. Now, I put together a short video to understand what it's costing you. Rodney, good. That's a good one. The server IP. Yeah, so we at listkit, we have a private infrastructure where all of our inboxes are on a private IP, if you will. Because the issue that we ran into is that if you're on a public one on like Google or Outlook, if one person in that deliverability pool is spamming and breaking the rules, it's going to cost you, and you're going to have negative sending reputation. So we like to call it like the country club of inbox infrastructure. Only our clients are on it. And if any client tries breaking the rules, like the lifeguard gets them out of the pool and kicks them out, right? There's like a dress code. You have to follow the rules, because we want to make like the gated inbox community, so the deliverability is so good that everyone stays in the main inbox. So yeah, the server IP is definitely important, and I'll go into more info about how our private infrastructure works. Okay, so quick pulse check. How do you know if cold email is working, right? Open rates are above 50%. We don't track open rates anymore because to track opens, you have to put this line of code in your email, and Google and Outlook smartened up to that, and they whack you if they see that link. So we don't track opens at all, but we know that the opens are on point. If the response rate's on point, it's just like, process of elimination. If my replies are good, that means the opens are good by default. And if we're getting anywhere from a positive reply per 100 to 200 prospects reached out to, that is a good conversion rate. And if you are booking one call per 500 to 1,000 people reached out to, that is also good. And people are like, Christian, that's a horrible conversion. You're sending 500 emails to book one call. But if you break it down from a cost perspective, it costs about $30 to reach out to 500 people with all the tech costs that we, the campaigns that we run are factored in. Raise your hand drop a 1 in the chat if a $30 cost per call would be good for your business, right? That'd be good for me. I would take that all day, right? I'm paying $30. I'm getting a sales call output into me. I would take that, right, all day. And once I put it in the financial perspective, people are like, oh, that makes sense, right? Because so many people want to micro optimize on these metrics here. Well, why can't I get a call per 200 emails? I mean, if you get that, that's amazing. But even still, you're booking a call for $30 to $60. You'll take that and you'll scale that all day, right? If you're closing 1 in 10 calls, 10% close rate, not even that good, you're closing a deal for $300 to $600. If your lifetime value of a client is anywhere above $600, which I'm guessing a lot of you, that is the case, you're good, right? Customer acquisition cost is below $600. You can scale a cold email campaign to the moon if you have that throughput, right? So with that in mind, I want to show you guys how to build a list of your dream customers. How do you actually get a list of emails to prospect and reach out to? And the first thing I ask my clients when they sign on with me is, who is your ideal client? Like, what industry are they in? What job titles do they have? How large is the company? What technologies do they use? What are their biggest pain points, desires, and goals, right? I'll ask somebody that works with me, hey, who do you work with? Well, I work with plumbers and roofers and attorneys. And I'm like, dude, we need to specify one client profile so that I can write messaging for you that actually resonates with them, right? Because if I just scrape a list of any industry, I can't say I can get you 10 emergency storm drain jobs because that only relates to roofers, right? But if somebody says, I work with roofers, the president and owners of roofing companies in Florida. Okay, now I can say, hey, Christian, notice you're one of the top roofing companies in Florida. We can get you 10 storm drain removal jobs in the Tampa area this month. Let me know if you're open to a call to learn more. Let me know if you want to see a video explaining further. Now they're like, okay, great. This guy knows where I'm located. They know what type of jobs that I want. So you have to have this level of specificity with your client profile, or else cold email is going to be a waste of time, right? So I would love to see in the chat what your ideal client profile looks like, specifically based on industry, job title, location, keywords, all that fun stuff. And while we do that, I'm going to pull up a list or a demo of the listkit platform, which is the software that I'm a co-founder at, and I'll kind of walk you guys through how it works. So first person to drop their ideal client profile in the chat, I will build a list for that profile. Home builders. Okay, great. Home builders. What's like a good keyword that would be in a LinkedIn description besides home builder? Contractor. Home building. Contractor. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got. Right away, 2.1 million people. I'm going to do architecture and construction for the industry. So I always start with keywords because the keywords will pull from their LinkedIn description, right? And then I'm going to filter down based on industry. So we got architecture and planning, architecture, and then we have construction, obviously, as an industry. And if we apply these filters, in 30 seconds, I now have a list of home builders in, well, let's add in the US real quick to eliminate any international prospects. Okay, 649,000 people at almost 30,000 companies that are in the home building space. Whenever I'm on a live call, this loves to take its time loading. So in the meantime, Brent, what is like a good job title that you want to reach out to? President, owner, partner, founder, owner. Okay, great. Owner, CEO, founder, CEO, president. Some people go by president, partner. And while this is loading, okay, great. So we have 22,000. That was like, I can, if I sit here and play with this, I could expand the search, but 22,000 people at almost 10,000 companies that are owners, presidents, founders at home building companies. And just to do a quick, accuracy test, I'll go into the description real quick. Seattle-based general contractor in Anchorage and Alaska. Construction, home construction. Construction is a general engineering contractor. Okay, great. So like this list looks pretty good. Double check with the visualization chart. That's going to show me the full extent of the search. Cool. This looks good. Okay, great. I'm ready to check out, right? I would just go 3 people per company, 100 leads to start. Obviously, you want to do a lot, but for the sake of this demo, redeem credits. And the cool part with listkit is once you click redeem, we verify the list. So you don't have to go in and enrich the leads and make sure they're up to date and they're not going to bounce. We have that process on the back end. So once the CSV is delivered to your email, that list can be plugged into your outreach to start prospecting, right? So that is how easy it is to get a list of leads. Like people come to me like, do I have to go on Google Maps and LinkedIn and Yellow Pages and find these emails? It's like, no. You go to listkit, and I just got an email on my phone that the export's ready. So literally 5 minutes, I went from no list to 100 home builders on my email, ready to go, right? So it is extremely easy to find a list of your dream clients using a tool like listkit, literally 10 minutes or less. Obviously, you want to take your time when you're building a real campaign, but for the sake of this demo, In under 5 minutes, I had a list of leads ready to go, right? So the truth with cold email is it does work as an acquisition channel in 2025, even still, with all of the saturation that's happening. Your emails will land in the prospect's primary inbox if you follow our deliverability, guides and SOPs and best practices. And you can find a list of your dream customers without hours of manual legwork using a tool like listkit. So the bonus myth, cold email won't work for my business. That's false. It will work with the right offer behind it if you're a B2B business owner, right? So here are a couple examples of our clients that have seen great results with cold email. I don't know why this is off center. That's going to bother me actually. But so going back to the offer levels I mentioned at the start of the presentation, this client of ours, they sell annuities presentations to financial professionals, right? That is a level 1 offer. Financial professionals need this. There's no real competition going up against them. And they've generated 78 positive replies over 2 campaigns, pitching a live 10-minute demo of their annuities platform, right? Includes real-time quotes, calculators, compliance-ready reports, and a website builder to get leads. Advisors have got over 70K in commission in about 2 months using our tool. They're getting insanely good results pitching a demo, right? Because it's such a blue ocean product, right? Level 2 offer, selling video content to e-commerce, a marketing offer, right? They're pitching a Loom explainer and they've generated 47 leads from 10,000 people reached out to. And if I run some math quick, that is around a $22 cost per lead conversion rate. So for every $22 they're putting in, they're getting a positive response. Is that a book sales call? No, they have to nurture those leads and get them on the phone. But even if, let's say 20 people out of these 47 booked a call, that is still a $54 cost per call, right? Close 1 in 10 of those, $540 to acquire a client, we're good to go, right? That's amazing. Lifetime value of a client is 5, 10, 15 grand. They're paying $500 to acquire them from cold email. That's pretty good, right? Moving all the way down the chain to a level 3 offer, selling websites to local businesses, which is a really hard thing to sell because everybody thinks that they don't need a new website. That's the last thing I need is a new website, man. Get out of here, right? They've generated 11 leads on 6,000 people reached out to saying, are you happy with your website? If not, I can build you a new one in 2 weeks. I actually made you a free homepage to show you what I can do. Would you be interested in seeing that, right? Free resource, free lead magnet. They're building a sample homepage for people to get them to raise their hand and say yes. Now, this campaign costs around $700 to run. They've gotten 11 leads. They're paying $63 per lead, but a website goes for 5, 10, 15 grand, right? So once again, even if they only close 1 deal from this, they're paying $700 to get a new website design client. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. So one more exercise I want to run you guys through is this client of ours, they sell custom merchandise to companies and they are reaching out to the same audience with the same sending volume. One angle has 93 positive replies. The other angle has 5. Everything else is constant, the volume, the audience. The only difference is the copy. And this angle has 93 positive responses. We can create apparel for your company from top brands like Peter Millar, Patagonia, Travis Matthew. You'll reduce your apparel cost by up to 20%. In fact, we guarantee you'll reduce your cost or you don't pay us. Do you want to see a video, call to action, video, the best pitch ever, going over our apparel catalog, right? 93 positive replies. This angle has 5, right? So literally 17 to 18 times less throughput with this angle. Curious, are you noticing the rising cost for your company's branded merchandise? Vague, boring question. Nobody knows their costs are rising for merchandise. We can help you save 25% on your merch cost, no guarantee. You'll pay a flat monthly fee, get cost transparency. Like this angle just is not resonating. Recently helped a $1 billion company cut their cost by 20%, worth a quick chat. Look at how vague that CTA is, worth a quick chat. As compared to, do you want to see a video going over our catalog, right? So what's the difference? Angle 1 is shorter. It has a video call to action. I'm pitching a video of my client's catalog. It's a direct pitch. Hey, we can create branded apparel for you. And there's a guarantee behind it that they're going to see cost savings or else they're not going to have to pay anything. And we're mentioning specific brands like Patagonia, Peter Millar, top brand name, household names, right? Angle 2, on the other hand, is longer. There's no guarantee and there's a vague call to action and opener. It's just not a good angle, right? And there's no specific language. I'm not mentioning any of the brands like Peter Millar and Patagonia that get people to be interested. Oh, I want a Patagonia sweater for my employees, right? So that's the difference in copy. Like you could go off from this training and run a cold email campaign with your own messaging. You know what I mean? Or I could assist you with that and write you an angle that's going to get you 93 replies compared to 5. Not saying that that's the case, that's what's going to happen, but that's the difference in throughput based on the messaging. That's how important it is, right? So to recap, I mean, the only real ways to sign clients is referrals, which are great, but they're very inconsistent. Content, it's free, but once again, it's feast or famine. You have to post good content to get results. Paid ads, which are really good, but they're very expensive, and it's going to cost you low 5 figures to run a good paid ad campaign every month with Meta. We know from experience, sadly. Or cold email, right? Which with a good strategy, like my client before, they're generating 5 to 6 leads a day interested in a custom merchandise package. They can basically wake up every day and come into our inbox and count on 4 to 5 to 6 leads in their inbox every day, no matter what. Like they've gotten it to a point where they dump leads in the funnel. The leads get reached out to, 5 to 6 replies a day, almost guaranteed, right? So to recap, right, you can get a list of your Dream 100 clients, or I say Dream 100, but your dream clients, thousands of them in 10 minutes, right? Number 2, cold email still works with the right offer and the right messaging behind it. And number 3, cold emails do not go to spam with the right process in place. So, I mean, that was, the 3-pillared framework for a cold email campaign. Like, I want to hear from you guys. What are you guys thinking? Like, what would stop you from logging off of this call and launching a campaign right now? Because transparently, if you go do this on your own and you use my teachings to get results, that would make me extremely happy. I taught you something that just improved your business. The satisfaction of that is, it's the reason why I do what I do. I want to help other businesses. On the other hand, if we get off this call and you decide, hey, I don't really want to set up 30 inboxes, 15 domains, write the copy, get the list of leads, configure all this stuff, warm it up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'd rather have Christian do it for me. That's an option too. So I want to hear from you guys. Like, what is the biggest thing that would stop you from doing cold email right now? So I can kind of, help you guys out if you guys are still here, hopefully. Rodney is the only brave soul with his camera on. I appreciate that. Time is the big thing, 100%. Email cold calling, funny enough, we also do sell phone numbers. It's a little different than cold email, obviously, but I had someone reach out yesterday that used 30 numbers they downloaded 30 phone numbers from our database and booked 2 calls for their commercial power washing business. I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. What is the cost? Monthly cost. Okay, so I'll run you guys through this real quick. Basically, here's how we can build a cold email infrastructure into your business. With the emails written by me, with domains and inboxes, with automation to send the emails, and a list of leads from the database that I just showed you guys. You also get a one-on-one onboarding call with a member of my team to make sure that everything's in place before you start, so you're not just being sat on a bike with no training wheels and saying good luck. We're going to make sure you know what you're doing, so you can manage the system. I write the cold email scripts. You have hours of training and guides at your disposal to make the most of our system, and we also have weekly support on Zoom. And you're probably like, why do I need training and guides if you're setting it up for me? So the key distinction here is we build you a cold email system in a box with all the stuff configured, the copy, the leads, everything. And then we pass it off to you 2 weeks later for you to run it as an internal marketing acquisition channel for your business. You're like, how does that make sense? Why would you do that? Because transparently, the only thing we want is to get you on as a customer of listkit. And we are willing to do 2 weeks of basically free break-even labor to get you on to the software, right? If any of you know Russell Brunson, 2 Comma Club, genius marketer, he built out funnels for people at cost to get them on ClickFunnels, his software. We basically copied that framework where we do done-for-you services in order to get you onto our software. So you're not doing it on your own and setting all this stuff up on your own. And if one thing goes wrong, you're shit out of luck. And we're not an agency, because an agency will charge you $3,000 up front. I used to do it, so I know. I used to be the agency that charged you this 90% margin setup cost, right? The actual setup cost is around $1,000. People will upcharge you double, pocket the rest, pay for the software and pocket the rest. Then they're going to say, oh, you only have to pay us per booked meeting. That's great. It's, upside for you. You only pay us $250 once we book you a sales call. You take 10 of those calls, they're all tire kickers that were forced onto your calendar by the agency so they can get paid. You get the invoice for $2,500 for 10 sales calls. None of them have a chance of closing. You're like, holy shit, I thought this was going to be a win-win scenario, but none of these calls are qualified. these guys just lined their pockets with money because they booked calls that weren't qualified, and I'm shit out of luck, right? With an agency, once again, we used to run this business model. We pivoted because we saw how, we needed the perfect storm for clients to be happy. Either there weren't enough qualified calls and we were under the gun, or we were booking them too many calls and they were closing deals and they're like, hey, Christian, you did great, but we're at capacity with our client fulfillment. We have to pause your services. It's like, what the hell? I just did too good for you. So that's why we have this model here where we build you the system and you can manage it in-house. And it's up to you to manage, hey, I'm going to tone it down this month to focus on client fulfillment. I'm going to ramp it up because I'm aggressively scaling. And for those of you who asked about monthly cost, let me walk you through it. So first, I'm going to drop this link in the chat so you guys can book a call with my team to basically even see if this makes sense for what you're selling. Because transparently, we don't want to work with you if you have, an offer that doesn't fit, because we want to get you results, and it's a bigger headache to take you on and deal with that than not take you on to begin with. But on the cost side of things, so here's a breakdown, right? No matter what, the setup cost is $1,500. And like I said, that is basically the foundational cost plus the labor to set up a cold email system with the domains, with the inboxes, with the data subscription, with the sending tool, with the copy and my time to write the copy. And then on a monthly basis, it's either $600 a month, $1,080 a month, or $1,440 a month to run the outreach. And this just depends on volume, right? $600 a month gets you 15 domains, 30 inboxes, 5,000 people prospected a month. Double that output, 30 domains, 60 inboxes, 10,000 people is 1,080, right? 45 domains, 90 inboxes, 15,000 prospects is 1,440 a month, right? And transparently, this cost, let's just use the baseline base plan as an example. $100 of this is going to a sending tool to run the actual outreach and not, do it by hand. About $70 to $100 a month is going to the domains and the inboxes, and the other 300 is going to the data, right? The actual data that we sell you. So as you can see, you're basically paying the cost of the tech stack, but the reason that we're able to sell just the cost of the tech stack is because listkit is a piece of that tech stack, right? You see how that works? A typical marketing agency needs to margin on top of the tech stack. We own a piece of it, so we only want to get you onto the software as a customer, and we'll basically sell you a cold email system at cost to make that happen. Does that make sense? Hopefully for Sean and Rodney.
Yes, makes sense.
Okay, cool. And once again, full transparency. I don't like those guys that get on. They're like, you have to sign up in 24 hours or the fast action bonuses go away. And it's like, you could sell that after the 24 hours are up, right? Full transparency here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This 1,500 also includes a sales commission to our reps. This is how we're able to staff full-time US-based sales reps. If you sign up on the presentation through me, I can refund you 500 off of this 1,500. I'm a co-founder. I don't make any commission. I can refund you the 500 that would otherwise go to a sales rep to get you onboarded now. So, selfishly, it's a cool fast action bonus because I can just be honest with you. And it's like not some bullshit story where it's like, these bonuses vanish in 24 hours. It's like, no, I literally can give you a discount because I'm not paying any commission to our reps, right? So the calendar link in the chat is a link to speak with our team. And like I said, they will quote you the full 1,500. If you sign up through this link on the call, I will refund you the 500, right? That's the distinction there. But that's basically it. If anyone else has questions, let's talk it out. But that's kind of the spiel. And if you pay me $0 and you go launch cold emails on your own and you come back and say, dude, I booked 5 calls and closed the deal from what you taught me, that's amazing. I love that, right? That gives me satisfaction as an expert in what I do, right? So regardless of which path you take, or maybe you say this is not a good fit now and you come back in 2 months and you want to get it rolling, we can talk then, right? And that discount will still be applicable because you're not talking to a rep, you're talking to me. Or if you want to talk to a rep and walk through it, you can definitely do that, but I'm just saying it's going to be more expensive. So yeah, hopefully that all makes sense. I know Sean and Brent, you guys had some questions. You've been pretty active in the chat. If you have any questions, please let me know. The cool part with cold email also is you can kind of warm call people. So if you get a bunch of replies in your inbox, you can just pick up the phone. Hey, Christian, saw you responded to my email about an hour ago about our cold email system. what do you have 10 minutes this week to talk on the phone? And then you set them on an actual meeting. Like you can, we just hired an SDR internally to manage this for us. And it might be helpful if I show you guys a campaign that we're running internally to show you that I'm not bullshitting. So this is our internal outreach where we're generating leads for our own service with cold email. Like let's go into this web design campaign. So this is what it's going to look like on your end. Once the campaign is up and running, you'll have access to this dashboard. So we've reached out to 8,000 people so far. We've gotten 29 people to raise their hand and say yes. I think 5 or 6 of them have booked in so far. We have to go in and nurture the rest. But you get a really cool overview of the dashboard, like which variants of my emails are getting results. Email 1A, only 3 results or positive replies. 1B, 7, 1C, 10. This email 1C is a clear winner. It's gotten the most responses. I'm going to turn off the other angles and just let this run, right? You can also go in and edit your copy at any time. So if you want, okay, this angle is getting the most responses. Are you taking on new web design clients? We can bring you 10 to 12 new prospects a month that want a new website build, all from cold email. Mind if I send over the cold email script lead magnet that we use to get 11 leads for our client, right? I'm not pitching a call. I'm just saying, do you want to take a look at this script? You know, no strings attached, right? And you manage the inbox all within one tool. So you're not going through, 30 different Google inboxes to see who's responding. You just filter based on interest, and you're going to have a list of all the people that have responded to you and taken interest in what you're selling them, right? So like, for example, this campaign, we have Emmanuel. He said, sure. Jeff said, send it over. Roseanne said, you clearly looked at my site, you get a reply. And not to go too high level on you guys, but we also have an AI SDR that once a reply comes in, like Roseanne here responded, this response was written fully by AI. So we don't even handle the leads until they're on the phone with us or they're about to book a call, right? So this AI is fully trained on my business, and we can train it on your business as well. We work with a wide range of businesses, blah, 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 right? Here's a video overview. Do you want to hop on the phone, right? So we're advancing with AI all the time to the point where you're almost getting sales calls booked without really doing any manual input, right? So it's pretty exciting. But Brent, I'll review this in the morning. Great. Yeah, and I'll also drop my email in the chat if anyone has questions. For me personally, I'm happy to help out. But I see some hands raised. Dominique is first, I think. So we'll let Dominique, if you're here, you can unmute and ask away.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can everyone hear me well?
Yeah.
No.
Awesome. Awesome.
You know me, Dominique. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for this. Really, really appreciate it. Not as active in the chat because I am about to head to an event, but I am verbal enough to ask my question, which is regarding the leads. So, and forgive me if you may have said this already, but regarding the leads and the database that you guys have, if it is that you guys are sourcing the leads from different places, how is there a way to ensure that, we're not overlapping and reaching out to potentially the same leads?
Yep. So, okay. First, if you're using listkit over and over again, we basically segment out anyone that you've exported. So can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. So these 3 bars here are total, which is the full database, net new, which are people that you haven't pulled yet, and then exported are obviously people that you've already exported and reached out to. So you'll never overlap with the same leads in the platform itself. And then if you have an exclusion list, all you would do is take their domains. Let's say, anybody in the US has a filter, right? Let's say you're using listkit for the first time and you have a list of existing customers that you don't want to prospect because that would be a bad look, right? You go in here, you go to exclude companies, and then you put any URL of a company that you don't want to reach out to. Right? Like let's say I don't want to reach out to anybody at google.com, save, apply filters. Nobody from Google will be in my search anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yep. So that's basically the two ways that we can make sure that you're not overlapping.
Okay. And so the leads, not only can we upload our own leads, you guys also have your own database of leads that we can pull from.
Yes. I mean, we have like 700 plus million contacts in there based on
Okay.
what type of businesses do you work with?
So a lot of coaches, speakers, trainers, a lot of those types of personal brands. And then anyone outside of those focus areas are usually by referral. But
Yes.
that's our main focus.
We have a lot of like professional services, consultants, leadership coaches in here.
Mhm.
I just typed in 3 keywords and there's 113,000 people. Educational platform, consultants, right? All these different consulting type businesses. You can easily pull a list from here. And like I said, you can exclude companies and you can also include companies. So if you have a list of businesses you want to work with, you can just type in their websites into here and we will enrich those websites with anybody that we have from those companies if we have them, right?
And what about like associations? Because I also do speak, and looking at associations as well. Is there a way to focus on them as a target as well, or is that an external list that I would need to pull?
Association, what do you mean by that?
So like professional associations.
Like an association
Uh,
of electricians or
yeah,
associations
I mean,
of home builders.
if you can get that
Right.
list, we can enrich it for you. I don't know if we have like that type of filtering in here. I'm sure the companies are in here somewhere, but it's not going to be easy enough to find them.
Okay.
Like they're probably in the database, but they're not labeled based on association.
Okay.
But if you do have a list, if you look here, we also have an email verification tool where if you have a list of contacts that you want to make sure they're up to date, you can drop them into this engine and we'll verify them. So any emails that are out of date, not deliverable, incorrect, we'll just mark them as bad, right? So here's an example. 38 emails that I uploaded were good, 8 were risky, and then 4 were bad. I can just pull the good emails and I have a list of accurate contacts, right? We include these verification credits at no cost in your plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my last question is really quick. Is I know networking isn't considered necessarily like cold. I know it's not considered cold leads necessarily, but is it possible to have a networking like campaign using your copy
Yeah.
strategies?
Yeah. I mean, I've had people that booked podcast guests through our system. I've had people that have invited people to masterminds and events and roundtables through the system, and it actually works really well because you're not selling anything, obviously. So yeah, if you're looking to, I mean, would it be cost effective to spend $1,000 a month to grow your network? Maybe. If you're trying to get a podcast lineup set so you can, create that relationship with these people, yeah, it would work.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%. And I put a new calendar link in the chat. I just realized that my sales team's availability is non-existent on the other link, so please use that one because it'll actually have times over the weekend as well if you'd like.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear and see you, man. The only guy with his camera on. It's amazing.
Yeah. I'm a brave soul. I'm ADHD, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm looking at the 5,000 and 15,000 on the base plan. I actually wouldn't matter any plan. You gave a stat earlier in the presentation that it takes 600 emails to 1,000 emails to get a inquiry. Is that right? Is that the stat?
I mean, that's on the very conservative side. Let me pull up. Let's go through some. Can you see this?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, this guy's selling websites to local business. Every 550 emails, he's getting a lead.
Okay.
This person that's selling video content is getting a lead every I don't know what the math is here. I'm bad at math. I used to be good at math. Every 225 people. So if you're getting a lead per 250 prospects, that's pretty good, That's a pretty good throughput. If you're getting one lead per 800 or 900, it's not bad. You're just going to have a really dialed in sales process to convert those leads into calls and deals, right?
Yeah.
Because the golden rule at the end of the day is like I said, if you're closing a deal for around 600 a month. So if you sign up for the base plan for 600 a month, your goal should be to close a deal a month.
Yeah.
If you're not getting a ton of replies, but you're booking calls and they're all qualified and you're closing deals, that's still good, right? Because people always fret over like the positive response rate, the call booking rate. The only thing that matters is how many deals you're closing and how many invoices you're collecting per monthly fee. You know what I mean? So if it's taking you 10 replies to get a deal, great. If it's taking you 2 replies to get a deal, great. Right? It's like there's going to be a bottleneck somewhere. I'm not getting enough replies, but I'm converting them. I'm getting a ton of replies, but I'm not converting them. Right? So it's like the golden KPI is if you can get to a deal a month consistently with this base plan, that would be, the place to be. Right?
Yeah, I'd be disappointed in myself.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not going to say it's like the weight falls on you, but it's like once we get the reply, you just have to manage. Just handle
the same promise I make my clients. I can get you there, but you got to close it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And you said you do conversion rate optimization?
Yeah, CRO. Yeah.
Cool.
One of the many things.
What type of businesses?
We're in the medical field pretty heavily with imaging offices. We have a few primary care providers.
Yeah.
And then I also do a lot of small businesses.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you could go like the Trojan Horse route. I was looking at your website, noticed a few things that are causing you hurting you on the sales side, right?
Yeah.
Or you just go direct pitch. Hey, I can build you a new website that converts 10 roofing deals a month, right?
Yeah.
And then Rodney, we do have an affiliate program on the data side only. We have a 15% commission lifetime. So you send us data clients, you get 15%, and then on the done for you side, we can give you that $500 per closed deal that would otherwise go to a sales rep once again. So
Gotcha.
Couple options there. And then, yeah, man, we'd love to see you ripping some emails with us. But
yeah, I think we probably will.
Christian, again, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you imparting your valuable knowledge to our team here. Everybody else, thank you so much.